Welcome to a deep dive. We're looking into the hidden side of your morning coffee today. We got this really interesting advisory from India's Central Coffee Research Institute out in Karnataka, and it's all about how they fight these monsoon rot diseases on the coffee plantations. Our mission to kind of pull out the key strategies farmers use when nature gets a bit too intense for the crop.
Yeah, it's fascinating, isn't it? How something like heavy rain, which you think would be good, especially, that March to May monsoon period,
Yeah.
how that can actually trigger these huge outbreaks of rot. This advisory really breaks down how it spreads, leaf to leaf contact, yeah, but also through the plant itself, even wind and rain carrying it. It's a constant challenge for those plants.
Okay, first up is preventing waterlogging. Sounds simple enough, maybe. But what's the real difficulty during a heavy monsoon, and why is it so critical for coffee?
That's a great point. It's definitely not simple. Coffee roots are, well, they're really sensitive. They need oxygen. They can't handle sitting in waterlogged soil, what they call anaerobic conditions. So the challenge isn't just, digging a trench. It's keeping that drainage working when the rain just doesn't stop, keeping the soil from compacting and making sure those delicate roots aren't just drowning. Because drowning roots, that invites disease, stops nutrients getting in. It's like trying to breathe underwater for the plant.
Right, so, okay, drainage is step one, foundational. Then the advisory talks about improving things for the roots themselves, even if the ground's wet. I thought this bit about mulching was interesting below the canopy, heaped up in the middle of four plants. Why so specific?
Yeah, that precision is key. It's not just general mulching, like for weeds. By heaping it like that, right in the center of four plants, you're creating this like protected zone. It helps stop the heavy rain compacting the soil directly around the main root area. This means better air getting to the roots, better oxygen exchange, and that encourages stronger roots, better nutrient uptake, which, makes the whole plant tougher against diseases, especially in those wet conditions.
Okay, so we've got drainage, we've got root aeration sorted, but the plant structure itself matters too, right? Even with good groundwork, a really dense coffee bush could still trap moisture. They talk about bush management. Sounds a bit vague. What's involved in this centering and handling they mention?
Exactly. Bush management is crucial. The centering and handling basically means opening up the inside of the bush. Farmers go in and they carefully remove branches that cross over each other because that blocks air. They take out any dead or dry bits, old sucked leaves, anything cluttering up the canopy. The whole idea is to get air circulating inside the bush. Less dampness, less humidity trapped in there means fewer places for those rot diseases to really get started and spread. It's proactive.
Makes sense. And then during the monsoon itself, there's a nutritional strategy, applying urea or ammonium sulfate, about 25 kilos per acre. Why feed the plants specifically then during such a wet, vulnerable time?
This is quite clever, actually. It's not just feeding for growth. Yes, it replaces nitrogen that the heavy rain washes away, which is important. But it also does something else. It encourages the plant to drop leaves and berries that might already be infected, sort of like a nutrient-induced cleanup. You get rid of infection sources and stimulate fresh, vigorous new growth that's naturally more resistant. Helps the plant bounce back.
And alongside that, getting rid of the actual infected material seems vital. The advisory says collect infected leaves, infected berries, and bury them. How important is that step? Sounds basic, but
Oh, it's absolutely fundamental. You can't skip it. Those infected leaves and berries, they're what scientists call inoculum, basically the seeds for next year's infection. If you leave them lying around, the disease just comes right back, maybe even stronger. So collecting and burying them, that breaks the cycle. It reduces the amount of disease pressure for the next season. It's just essential farm hygiene, really.
okay, so prevention, management, nutrition, hygiene. But sometimes infection still happens. The advisory then gives a very specific chemical treatment. What's the thinking behind this particular mix?
Right, this is the targeted approach when needed. They recommend tebuconazole, that's a systemic fungicide, and it's in an SC's form, suspension concentrate, which helps it spread and stick well. But here's the interesting part. They combine it with Planifix. Planifix isn't a fungicide, it's actually a plant growth regulator. So you're not just killing the fungus, you're also using the Planifix to help the plant manage the stress, recover better, and crucially, hang on to its berries. Because premature berry drop is a huge loss caused by these rots. So it's a combined strategy. Fight the disease, support the plant, protect the harvest. A real 1-2 punch.
Wow. So putting it all together, this deep dive really highlights the sheer complexity involved. It's this blend of understanding the earth, the plant's biology, and then these careful, often labor-intensive human actions to protect the coffee we rely on. It really shows the constant vigilance agriculture demands, doesn't it? And
Yeah.
the ingenuity of the farmers.
Absolutely. And maybe connecting it to the bigger picture for everyone listening, does understanding these really specific behind the scenes struggles on a coffee farm, does it change how you think about global food production, about the kind of resilience farmers need? It gives you a new appreciation, I think. It's definitely more than just a simple bean in your cup. It's often a hard-won battle.